Ray of Doom in Chimps, baby. You already know I'm back with this heat, and we're doing it on an actual advanced map too. Just a super fire strategy. We're going with Churchill because we need that massive ZOMG damage, and Solver because you already know it's the best tower in the entire game. And together we just cook and save up over $100,000 for that Ray of Doom, and then just use that to destroy the hardest rounds in the game. So sit back and enjoy the guide. Start with a Dart Monkey in that bottom left corner. Try and make sure that the right side of its range is completely horizontal, so the grey part of the range is completely straight, and then a sub as low as possible in that bottom pool of water. You want to center it as much as you can in between the two vertical tracks. Leave your sub on first and turn auto start off for now. We will be turning it on shortly, but at the end of round 6 you want to place your second Dart Monkey pretty much opposite your first Dart Monkey. Again, make sure that the left side of its range is completely horizontal, so the grey visible part of the range is horizontal, as you see on screen. At the end of round 8, get a second sub to the top left of your first sub, again as bottom as possible. And the range marker you want to look at is the right side of this sub's range should touch the left side of the right vertical track, so right there. Set this second sub to strong, leave the first sub on first. At the end of round 10, get twin guns on your bottom sub, and now you can turn auto start back on. So this run has only 4 actually difficult rounds, and only one of them is actually difficult, and that's really only because it has RNG. And luckily for us, that's round 15. As you'll see pretty soon, round 15 is the hardest round of the run, but if you beat that, you should be fine the rest of the way if you just take it slow for the other 3 difficult rounds, which are 25, round 90, and round 94. But all of those are much easier than 15, so don't worry too much about it. I'm sure you'll beat it. For 15, what I want you to do is take it slow and set your bottom sub to strong. And now just hope that it doesn't whiff the yellows. Buy airburst as soon as you possibly can, mid 15. And then by longer range on your bottom sub that has airburst, and then you can set both your subs to first after you have that 102 sub. After that, upgrade your left Dart Monkey to 002, so enhanced eyesight. Very important that you do it on the left Dart Monkey and not the right. And now the setup is complete, we can save up to Churchill in his entirety. Round 25, however, we are going to have to slow it down and place him before the purples, but we'll get to that when we get to that. If you beat 15, you pretty much have beaten the entire run unless you mess up with your Dartling later on, but that's hard to do. If you just follow the balloons with your mouse, you'll be completely fine. On 25, slow it down and buy Churchill in that top left corner as soon as you possibly can. You want to place him before the purples come out, that's really important, or you will lose to the purples. So don't worry too much about his placement, just get him as top left as you can in that corner before the purples reach the bridge. That's the main thing you want to keep in mind. Before 31, turn off auto start. And then clear that bottom building right there, that's part of the park. And now you want to place a ninja as middle and low as possible on that building. It's really important that you place him as low as you possibly can. Then upgrade that ninja to a 101 and then a 201 mid-round. So get sharp shurikens mid-round as soon as you possibly can, because it is needed to beat the round, and from there you can turn auto start back on. Get double shot before round 33. And this ninja is great because he's going to be kind of our mid-game carry before we get Solver. And the amazing thing about this is I've kind of routed it so that the alch on this ninja ends up getting used on Solver and we don't have to buy stronger stim. So that's kind of nice. Lets us afford Ray of Doom even earlier, which is just awesome. Look at Churchill just destroy round 36, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to have a hero that can actually beat round 36. Most of the heroes I use can't. During 37, get Bloon Jutsu on that ninja. And turn off auto start before the round 40 Moab because we have to get our alchemist down. At the end of 39, place an alchemist in the top left corner of that building. Try and put it closer to your ninja than any other tower, obviously. The range markers you want to look at is the right side should just barely touch the right side of the right track there. Upgrade it to a 320. And then take the round slow. Once the Moab pops, use Churchill's first ability. It usually doesn't get that close, but don't worry about it because your 102 sub can actually see that far. At the end of round 41, get a village as right as possible in that bottom right part of the park and upgrade it to jungle drums. Then for 43, use Churchill's first ability once balloons get to him. On 47, use Churchill's first ability again once the Cerams get to him. And then before 49, turn off auto start again because we're going to be placing glue gunner now. At the end of round 48, get a glue above your ninja. There should be enough space there. There's a little bit of space and that is more than enough for us. Upgrade it to a 420 liquefier with glue splatter. And then get primary training on that village, and as you'll see, once you have P training, your glue will be able to hit the top side of the bridge, which is what we want. And now you can turn auto start back on because it's pretty chill from here until we get Bloon Solver, and then it's chill for a really long time obviously, until we see that first ZOMG. On 51, you can use Churchill's first ability if you'd like. You don't have to, as you saw, but if you feel like it, you can. In fact, you can also buy the camo upgrade on the village for 51. It just makes you get Solver a bit later, but you do still get Solver before 63. So if you find yourself having trouble with the 50s, with the camos on the 50s, you can upgrade your village to 320. But you don't have to, and if you don't, you get Solver earlier, which is just better. So that's what I recommend, but you know, if you want to go your own way, you can do that for sure. With the ninja placement, I know it's a bit tight, but as long as you place the ninja as low as you possibly can on that building, you will always have space for your glue gunner. So if you don't, it's because you placed your ninja wrong. So before you continue any further, once you can afford a glue after you buy your ninja, you might want to just try placing it. Don't place it, just hover it over the spot and see if there is actually a spot for your glue to go down. Because if there isn't, you will have to restart the run, most likely. On 59 you can use the first ability if you want, but you don't have to for the most part, you should be fine. Use the first ability on 60 if you'd like, but as you can probably tell, you don't really need to. Get Solver after round 60, and it's Jova, because you already know. Solver is just unbelievably good. Pair it with Churchill and you can save up a lot of money, like who needs Geraldo? After you get Solver, set Churchill to last so we can abuse some straight lines like he's doing right now. And then upgrade your village to a 320 radar scanner. Do that before you clear the right building, or build it really. Once you have your radar scanner, then build that right building, and then place a dartling as top left as possible in that corner. And then just lock the dartling in place to the end of the middle track, so right there is good. And then just start upgrading it to a 420. As you can probably tell, it's totally useless at this point, but it will be useful in the early 90s, so for now just lock it in place. You don't have to micro it or anything like that. Just make sure you keep upgrading it, lock it in that same spot, and then you can just AFK for the rest of the way. So here we are for big round 80. Use Churchill's second ability on the ZOMG, and use his first as well if you'd like. Not really necessary, obviously. I also recommend moving the targeting of your dartling to the intersection between the first and second paths. So right where I have it right now, because it does extra damage at the point that it hits the track. With the tier 4 upgrades, just kind of leave it there. You can leave it locked in place for now, you don't really need to do anything with it. Feel free to use Churchill's abilities whenever you want, but keep in mind that his abilities aren't actually useful until we get him to level 13, which he isn't right now. As you just saw, he's still level 12, but after that, if you want to stat pad Churchill, you definitely can, because AP Shells goes crazy after level 13. On 85, use Churchill's second ability when both ZOMGs enter the screen. That's the main reason we're using Churchill actually, is the ZOMG damage with that second ability is fantastic. And that's what you really lack with Solver. It's great at everything except ZOMG damage really, so if you have a hero that can complement Solver, you can save up a lot of money, over 100k. You can use Churchill's first ability on 86, don't think it's necessary, but it just helps, so why not? And then use that second ability again on 87, obviously, when all the ZOMGs are on the screen. If you want the rounds to go faster, you can definitely trace the ZOMGs with your Dartling Gunner, just unlock it, so set it to normal targeting, and then follow them around. But that isn't necessary right now, as you can see. Use Churchill's first ability when he starts shooting the ZOMGs on 87. Then 88, use that second ability on the ZOMGs again, because, I mean, you know the drill at this point. You see green ZOMG, you destroy that thing with that second ability. At any point, if you feel unsafe or scared that something's going to leak, you can definitely trace it with your Dartling and just take it slow, but that does not happen in these rounds. As you can see, Solver will coat everything in glue and just kill everything, so it's not a leaking issue. Round 90, take it slow. Very important. And once you see all the DDTs on screen, use Churchill's second ability. This is one of the hardest rounds in the run. You just have to use it in a timely manner. Once you see that third DDT enter the screen, use his second ability immediately. You can also use the first ability, but it's totally unnecessary. The second ability is very necessary though. For 92, I recommend setting your Dartling to normal and then tracking it to the ZOMGs. It isn't actually necessary, but you should definitely do it. Use Churchill's first ability on the ZOMGs as well. Keep in mind we can't use his second ability on 92 because we need it for 93. But 93 is much easier than round 90, as you can see. Wait for that final DDT to be on screen and then just use that second ability. They all get destroyed because Churchill is awesome. And then just continue to trace the FBFBs on 93 just to speed up the rounds. So 94, the final hard round of the run, use Churchill's first ability immediately. And then make sure you keep targeting your Dartling to the ZOMGs. That's really, really important. Take it slow if you need to. Make sure you use Churchill's first ability a second time in the run. And if anything gets close to the right track, feel free to micro your Dartling to that. 95, keep it sped up until you see some DDTs, at which point you want to slow it down. And then use Churchill's second ability once that first DDT reaches where you've placed your Dartling, and then just continue to hold your Dartling targeting that horizontal path. 96 is a lot easier than 94. Use the first ability at the start of the round. And then when the ZOMGs come out, use both abilities. Continue to track them with your Dartling, and watch Solver just destroy everything. Get Ray of Doom at the end of 96. Yep, if you got it this far, just enjoy, just bask in the glory. Track these annoying little FZOMGs with Ray of Doom, just destroy them completely. Total power. We have Ray of Doom with Churchill. Who needs Geraldo? Not me. Use that second ability on 98, just to speed it up, keep it safe, and destroy everything with Rod because it's awesome. For 99, you want to make sure that Ray of Doom is pointed directly down this horizontal track. Keep it there and all these FDDTs will be destroyed. And for the bad, just trace it along with your Rod and just destroy everything. When it gets close to popping, slow it down, and then trace the DDTs that come out of the bad with your Ray of Doom. That's very important because they're very fast and your Solver might miss them, so just make sure you take round 100 slow. Super fun run, Ray of Doom in Chimps with Churchill. I don't need Geraldo. Hope you enjoyed the video. It was awesome to make, really fun strat, and yeah, can't wait to do more of this stuff with really cool tier 5s.